Stick around to the end of this video to learn how to develop a core community culture, and all of this from an experienced community manager. So let's start off this lesson in developing a core culture by looking at Dunbar's number. And if you're unfamiliar with Dunbar's number, it basically consists in the notion that as humans, we can only make legitimate connections, genuine connections with at most 150 people in our environment. And so a high level of interconnectedness is what we're striving for as community builders. Think of a tight-knit friend group. And of course, typically the more larger the crowd, the more fickle the connections are within. And this is where the concept of Dunbar's number comes into play. So one of the first easy steps that you can commit to developing a core culture is to simply have a member cap. So either set a limit yourself or charge high enough where you're slowing down the rate of people joining your space without dissuading your target audience from joining. For example, in KCC where I work, that's the community that I work in, you must pay $365 a year at this time to join. And that's a high ticket rate that only allows for a few members to join per month. And as the community owner that I work with puts it, quantity is limited to preserve community quality. We have a great community culture, and so we control how many new members we have per month. And even Adonis Gang does this as well. So if you're unfamiliar with Adonis Gang is this massive community on Skool.com. It's like a self-improvement community for young men. And at this time, it has like 130,000 members. So is that even a community at that point? That's like a massive army at that. But in order to mitigate against this influx, this huge amount of members that Adonis Gang has, the community owner charged a $1 fee to join it now. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the highest barrier for entry if you're going to charge for your community in order to set some kind of member cap. It can be as low as $1. You just have to experiment with this. And of course, everything differs depending on your situation. So in terms of developing a core culture, you want to aim to have your members achieve their transformations together and not in isolation. And what I mean by transformation is that your member has joined your community in order to experience some kind of transformation in their life. In other words, your community has a goal and they're at point A, they want to get to point Z. They have to experience some kind of transformation between point A and Z, and that is what your community is going to help them with. It's going to provide all the necessary tools that they require to achieve that transformation. And so the idea here is a community is the tool that's going to help them achieve this transformation. And a community is not something that is done in isolation. Your members have joined because they want to be surrounded with like-minded peers who are experiencing or who at least want to experience the same transformation as them. So your job is to unite these people together even more so than they are now. So this is tricky to pull off, but not impossible. So don't be discouraged as you already have one foot in the door by simply having a community in the first place. Because your members chose to join your community because they share the same goals, hobbies, attitudes, dreams, etc. And all you have to do are to strengthen these connections further. In other words, members are already looking to belong, and you just have to nudge them in the right direction. You just have to continually nudge them to connect more and more and more because that's what they want. That's why they joined your community in the first place. And so your action item in this regard could be setting up accountability group systems, having more synchronous forms of chat and interactive live calls, are just some ideas that come to mind to help you out in this regard. And these are all activities and programming that we've experimented with in the community that I work in.